Happy Friday and happy Fridays with Fidelman. I'm Cheryl Fidelman, life coach, trauma healer, and writer. And today's topic on Fridays with Fidelman is the resistance magnet. So we've all heard the term, what you resist persists. But what I want to add to that is that resistance breeds resistance. So if there are areas of your life that you're resisting, if there are things on your to-do list that you're resisting, if there are communications to other people that you're resisting, decisions, choices, starting a project, like if there's a whole category of your relationship that you're resisting addressing, including your relationship with yourself. So, anywhere where there is resistance, it will breed resistance in other areas of your life. So a little bit of resistance will breed more resistance because I'm suggesting that the relationship to resistance will grow. So whatever relationship you're nurturing, it's going to grow and get better. So if you are nurturing your relationship to resistance, then it's going to grow and get better and be fertilized and show up in other areas of your life. It's like building the muscle of resistance. And of course, then you start to get really good at it. And of course, I'm pointing to things that we are resisting that would actually be good and healthy for us not to resist them. Like, for example, you ever clean your whole house and then like slowly one area starts to pile up and you resist it, and then something else piles up and then you resist that and something else piles up, and then before you know it, the whole place is kind of like chaotic, which started with one little area of resistance. Certainly easier said than done to tackle everything as soon as it starts to boil up. Not say that that's not impossible. It's certainly possible to start to notice things get a bit chaotic, or you start to notice things getting repressed. Then you can start to lean into them. Because what happens for a lot of us, especially when we've had trauma or we identify as, sort of more on the extreme spectrum of codependence, and of course, like I say in every video, I focus on trauma. I focus on codependence because it's the most obvious way that we demonstrate our trauma, our unhealed trauma in relationship with others, and most importantly, our relationship with ourselves. And for a lot of us who are codependent, resistance starts to become normal. Right? We're not really feeling it. So I'm using the analogy of the house that sort of gets real, like chaotic and unorganized, right? A certain area starts to get unorganized. We don't totally feel it. For a lot of us, we don't feel mass resistance. We don't feel resistance until it's like in a mass quantity, right? Because our nervous system is so used to going, don't feel that, don't say that, and don't feel what it feels like to not say it. Or someone's upsetting you, or something doesn't feel right with somebody, and your nervous system goes, you're not safe to speak, so be quiet and don't feel what that silence feels like. So before we know it, we're surrounded by communications that we're not having. Before we know it, we have a massive amount of repression in so many areas, a massive amount of resistance, and we don't feel it till we're almost invisible, till there's almost so many things that we've pushed ourselves away from and avoided. For a lot of people, they don't actually feel in their nervous system that they've been resisting something in their marriage till 20, 30 years down the line. They go, oh my God, I've been resisting having this particular communication with my partner because it's safe to not have it. It's safe to resist. And then when the tables start to turn a little bit and you start to go, oh my God, I've been resisting this thing for 20, 30 years. Now that I've resisted it for so long, the tables turn. Actually, the resistance starts to pile up so much that that starts to feel unsafe. And then we say something. So we feel safe with a certain level of resistance, and then when that resistance gets magnified because of time, or your quality of life starts to get impacted in a way that doesn't feel safe, or your finances or your health start to get in a way that doesn't feel safe, then you go, oh, now resistance isn't working for me. And sometimes also another thing that happens is when we start to actually feel something gets impacted so much, similar to like the brick wall of codependence video that I put out last week, which I'll put in the comments of this video. Also on the heels of a video that I put out called Procrastination and the Codependent Creator. I refer to that video a lot because I think a lot of what I speak of in general is almost all of it is said in that video. So I'll put that video down below as well. Also on the heels of the acronym of FEAR, most of you have probably already heard this, that fear stands for false expectations that appear real. False expectations that appear real. So also when I talk about resistance, I'm talking about the things that we put into the future that are a projection, they're a fantasy, and then we start to resist them. Like, oh, if I make this communication, that person's going to get super pissed at me, and then if they get super pissed at me, then I'm going to feel rejected, so actually I'm resisting feeling rejected. Meanwhile, you don't really know what that person's going to say, or, you know, when you say the thing you want to say, you don't know how you're going to feel after they have the reaction that they're going to have. So, resistance, we create our moves and our choices also as a result of resisting what I call, I'm sorry, I have to, something stuck in my tooth. I got it out. We also, we're resisting as a product of our future tripping. So future tripping is a big distinction in my work. The level to which we future trip, we like life becomes a chess game. If I do this, they're going to say that, and then they're going to say that, and then I'm going to feel this way, and so I'm just not even going to say the thing that I was going to say, or even when it comes to actual long-term plans, we're future tripping 6, 7, 10 seconds in the future about how we're going to come up with how we're going to act in the present moment. But also future tripping about, decisions, like future tripping in a more meta sort of like, if I make this decision in life, that means I'm going to make that kind of money, or if I make this decision, that means I'm going to be broke, or I'm not going to change careers because I'm going to have to figure out in a day what my next career is going to be, instead of like plotting it out, taking the time, you don't have to quit your job tomorrow. You can, So, what has us resist is the falsities that we put in the future. So we're actually resisting fiction. Sometimes we're creating fiction and we're resisting that instead of actually the opposite of resisting, which is taking action and then being in full contact, in full relationship with the actual product of your reactions, the actual product of your actions, rather than just being in resistance with what you think is going to happen. Be in action and be in full contact with the actual product of your actions. And certainly that takes bravery. It can take bravery, courage, and really being aligned with yourself and trusting yourself. Okay, everybody, thanks so much for listening to my thoughts, theories, and rants. Please feel free to answer this question that I'm going to post today, which is, what are one or more things that you're resisting in your life? They could be fantasies. They could be future trippings. Like you're resisting something because you think you've made up there's going to be some certain outcome and you don't want that outcome, so you're actually resisting the fantasy. Or there's certain things that you could be right, that it could turn out X, Y, and Z, and you're resisting it because of that. Or you're just so used to resisting that it's not even a big thing. Like, you could just email me and be like, Cheryl, I haven't gone to the dentist in 3 years, just because I forgot, and I'm used to resisting it. Sometimes it's not even a fear. We just become used to resisting that particular thing. Like I said earlier, so used to it that we're not even actually feeling it. We're not even feeling the resistance anymore. It just becomes the way it is. Okay, guys, happy Friday. Have an awesome weekend. Happy healing, and life is now. Bye. Just a quick little thought tag, guys. To all of you who gave me just sweet well wishes, thoughts, emails, comments, instant messages, all of that stuff. Just such sweet love and care in response to my little message last week. Well, it wasn't a little message, but my message last week about that I was waiting. I had some health issue and I was waiting for results. I got the results. Everything is fine. Gratefully, thankfully, everything is fine. Thank you all for your love. I don't doubt that that love made a difference in the results that I received today. Thank you. I love you. Happy healing.